I think the hardest part about all of this is that middle aged, I didn't think I could get fooled again by politicians, not after W, which I voted for. I voted for peace and independent parties every election since then. And I'm still processing the fact that I've part of the demographic that ushered this into power. Now we're sending our kids to die in war again. Over nukes. Not weapons of mass destruction. That was never going to work. It's full-blown, maybe potentially nukes this time. I hate myself.
Today's a day that I'm feeling a lot of remorse for having supported Trump and MAGA. Hey everybody, Rich here at Leaving MAGA at leavingmaga.org. Let me preface by saying that I am not making this video to elicit any sympathy or any pity from anyone, but it's just, it's one of these days that it's a stark reminder to me about the remorse, regret, and some of the guilt that I feel over having supported Trump and MAGA, not just as a mere voter, but someone who was an activist, who was a pundit, who worked on the Trump campaign, who donated to the Trump campaign, someone who was an unapologetic and public Trump and MAGA supporter as I was. And as the president threatens war crimes and probably nuclear war, it's just a reminder for me that I made a mistake. And I would ask all of you out there who right now have MAGA friends and relatives, I think a lot of them are starting to feel some regret. I think a lot of them are starting to privately and quietly have their own doubts, their own confusion, maybe questioning their beliefs. Maybe they're feeling a little bit guilt themselves about having supported Trump. It's just, today's the kind of day that, it makes me think that I once supported the Republican Party, and perhaps it's cynical of me to say this, but the Republican Party will not do anything to Trump. Trump knows that. When I was in MAGA, it was a fantasy of ours to kill off the GOP and remake it and transform it into a MAGA party. And I think if it means holding on the power, the Republican Party would let the country burn down to the ground and rule over its ashes. And I don't think that would be too steep a price to pay in the minds of the Republican Party. So reach out to your MAGA friends and family today. See how they're feeling. Ask them if they're having any doubts. Are they questioning what they're seeing? I believe many in MAGA, if not most, know that something is amiss in the country right now. Make sure you're following us at our socials. Make sure you subscribe to our newsletter at leavingmaga.org. You can get information on our support group, which is tonight at 7 p.m. It's online. It's for friends and family of those who are in MAGA, and also information on my memoir, One Betrayal Too Many. As always, appreciate you watching. Thanks so much for your support, everyone.
Trump is becoming unhinged, and for those that want to unfollow me for saying it, go right ahead. I voted for him 3 times. And before I get into what I'm going to say,
we're going to play that whole video. But first, that was a conservative millennial. Pretty popular voice on the right, a MAGA. Now let's get into the video, and then we're going to talk about it right afterwards. Watch!
Trump is becoming unhinged. And for those that want to unfollow me for saying it, go right ahead. I voted for him 3 times. And before I get into what I'm going to say, for the people on the left and liberals, no. I am not on your side, but I like to call things for what it is. I think Trump has done some really good things, but his actions lately are starting to concern me and are fulfilling what my fear was with him with his second term. He's got nothing to lose, right? He's going to do what he wants to do. He's not getting reelected. He could do what he wants to do. The fact that he is now calling for jailing of a journalist, running for Venezuelan president, all kinds of things, bombing civilian infrastructure, these are, I hate to say, these are things that a dictator says. And there are still some people that are just like blindly praising him and saying like, oh yeah, he's doing great, he's doing great, he's doing great. It's okay to say he's doing great with certain things and criticize things that are not going great. Let's be honest. He got his head inflated with Venezuela, right? And thought he could do that to whoever and whatever he wanted to. And now he's in a situation with Iran. So, and before anybody says, oh, Iran was close to a nuke, they've been saying that for years and years and years and years. Every time it's 6 weeks, 6 months, 6 weeks, 6 months. Just call it for what it is.
No. You're not getting off that easy. Let's listen to what you said again. Listen.
Good things, but his actions lately are starting to concern me and are fulfilling what my fear was with him with his second term.
So you voted for him even when you had fears of his second term. That says a lot about you. That means that you knew what we knew, but you still voted for this. I watched some of your content talking about TDS and how you can't believe that the left protests everything that Trump does. There is no weaseling out of your vote. We're never going to forget what your vote did, especially what you did personally. There's a lot more than the left. There's center, there's right, all that didn't vote for him, but you decided, even though you had these fears, to still vote for him. So that puts you in a box. In that box, I like to call MAGA. Just because you could see the writing on the wall and what's going to happen concerning the 25th Amendment, and now you see a ramp off that MAGA train, we will never, ever forget what you did with your vote. And we definitely will never, ever forgive. Guys, tell me what you think about him in the comments. And if you haven't followed me yet, please do. Have a day!
Tonight, we are looking at something downhill, often in politics, regrets, not from opponent, but from within. Former supporter of MAGA movement are speaking out, some saying they are feeling misread, other warning about consequence they never expected. But here is the real question. Is this accountability or just distance after damage is already done? Let's break down what's actually happening beneath the surface and why this shift could matter far more than it seems. Before we continue, I want to give credit to all original creators of TikTok clips used in this video. All clips belong to their respective creator and are used there for commentary, news report, and education purpose only.
I regret voting for Kamala Harris in this past election cycle. I'm sorry to every single person that I wasted my vote for somebody like her. Because last election cycle, I should have realized that I should want to vote for somebody who would ruin America. I should want somebody who makes life so expensive for the everyday person while making the rich richer. I should want somebody who is willing to start wars and not really care about the lives that are being sacrificed for his decisions. As a woman, I don't understand why somebody wouldn't support Donald Trump, especially since he has been found to be friends with Epstein and has been found liable for SA. That's just so dumb of me to vote against him. April Fools, I will absolutely never ever regret my vote for Kamala Harris. Instead, I am really proud of my vote for Kamala Harris because she was the only option on the ballot who could genuinely help America and make it a better place for people.
Sunday morning, I'm going to pick up my mom to go to Easter Mass. I get a text message from a friend of mine who sends me this and goes, "Is this real?" I go, yeah. Oh my gosh, it absolutely is. And it was the trifecta of offending people. It offends Christians, it offends Muslims, but it also offends the sensibilities of anybody who's waking up on a Sunday morning just trying to go through the day. And it gets me to this point of, what are we doing here? What are we doing here? To have something that unhinged while men and women are in harm's way in Iran. If you're the parent of one of those soldiers right now, what are you thinking? Who is at the controls? This is the guy with the nuclear codes? Not to mention, he's now treating Iran like it's some reality TV show, like it's WWE, you know, SmackDown, 8 p.m. Tuesday night.
On Easter morning, the president posted, quote, "Open the fucking straight, you crazy bastards, or you'll be living in hell." Then he signed it, "Praise be to Allah." He also announced that Tuesday will be Power Plant Day and Bridge Day in Iran. He branded the destruction of civilian electricity, hospitals, ventilators, neonatal units, like a streaming premiere. Gave it a date, a title, an exclamation point. Over 100 international law experts have already called targeting power grids a war crime. He turned it into an Eventbrite. The same week, his spiritual advisor compared him to Jesus at a White House luncheon. 2 days ago, his post was signed "Glory be to God, today it's Allah." Psychologists call this instrumental religiosity, sacred language used for dominance. He wears faith like a costume change between scenes. And while he's manufacturing this level of collective psychological damage, his proposed budget cuts mental health funding by 15% and guts NIH research by 40%. He's creating a crisis and locking the medicine cabinet on the same day. If this reached you, don't let it stay quiet.
And in case anyone is confused, the reason why we do not owe that ex-MAGA woman sympathy is because we were always going to enact change despite people like her, not because of people like her changing their minds. She still has a long way to go before she's rendered less useless to the movement than she is now. I'm tired of this narrative that progress is made because white people change their mind. That has never been the case. She, even now, after the damage is done, by the way, and she finally decides to deconstruct her MAGA mentality, her changing her mind is not going to cause any further progress. But liberals are so eager to pat white people on the back. We never gain progress because white people change their mind. It's always because black people and radicals have forced change. So no, we do not owe this woman grace or sympathy, quite frankly. Me, I'm just going to ignore the woman. I've never been the type to dogpile. I've never been the type to just leave copious amounts of hate on someone's page, because ultimately it serves no one. But I'm tired of y'all trying to convince black people to turn the other cheek and celebrate the bare minimum as long as it's coming from a white person. I don't care that white people are socialized to be racist. I hold everybody to the same standard.
So what we are seeing isn't just a political disagreement, it's a factor. Based on some of the lockstep is now questioning itself, and that doesn't happen without pressure. That's an uncomfortable part. Regret doesn't erase impact. Distancing yourself from movements is not the same as taking a responsibility for it. Now I want to hear from you. Do you think this is genuine reflection, or it's just people trying to rewrite their role in the story? Drop your thoughts in comment below. If you are new here, please can consider subscribe, like, share. Don't forget to leave a comment. And for the subscriber, thank you so much for your support. Really, we appreciate it. See you in the next episode.